and if Mr. Depp further proved by clear and convincing evidence, number 7, that Ms. Heard made the statement with actual malice.
After 6 weeks of testimony from the legal teams of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, both sides delivered closing arguments today, and jury deliberations began. People are convinced that the jury is in favor of Depp, as a tweet by Ian Runkle, an insider, has claimed the same. So what is up with the jury? Will they rule in favor of Depp? Let's find out. The jury of 7 must now decide whether Depp's ex-domestic wife's violence claims, which stem from a 2018 op-ed in the Washington Post, were defamatory to Depp. Heard has filed a countersuit against Depp for $100 million, claiming damages from Depp's suit and statements from his lawyers. Following over 100 hours of testimony, Judge Penny Askerit instructed the jury on how to proceed with their deliberations. First, a decision must be made to determine whether Heard's op-ed was false, defamatory, showed actual malice, and was about Depp. Then, to proceed with Heard's countersuit, a determination must be made as to whether Depp's lawyer, Adam Waldman's statements describing Heard's claims as a hoax were defamatory to Heard.
That it is more likely than not that Ms. Heard designed and intended the statements to refer to Mr. Depp.
On Friday, jurors began deliberations in the civil libel trial of actors Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard after 6 weeks of courtroom drama that revealed the star's troubled marriage. Depp is suing Heard in Virginia's Fairfax County Circuit Court for $50 million for an op-ed she wrote in the Washington Post in December 2018, describing herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse. Judge Penny Askerit instructed the jury Friday morning before the start of closing arguments from Depp and Heard's attorneys. When the jury deliberates, it must consider whether there was abuse and whether Heard's op-ed piece was legally defamatory. The article itself focuses mostly on domestic violence policy issues. Still, Depp's lawyer pointed to 2 passages in the article, as well as an online headline, that they claim defamed Depp, even though the article never mentioned his name. She didn't say anything about him. She wasn't required to, Benjamin Chu, Depp's lawyer, stated. Everyone knew who and what Miss Heard was referring to. Heard writes in the first paragraph, 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath. Given that Heard publicly accused Depp of domestic violence in 2016, 2 years before she wrote the article, Depp's lawyers say it clearly references Depp. I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse, she says in a second passage. Amber Heard, I spoke out against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath, the online headline reads. In closing arguments, lawyer Camille Vasquez told the jury that Heard ruined his life by falsely telling the world she was a survivor of domestic abuse at the hands of Mr. Depp.
Either she's telling the truth, including in her most extreme allegations, or she's lying.
Heard's lawyers argue that she cannot be held liable for the headline because she did not write it. The 2 passages in the article are about how Heard's life changed after she made the allegations, not the allegations themselves. After Depp's lawyer dismissed her allegations as a hoax, Heard filed a $100 million counterclaim against him. Though the counterclaim has received less attention during the trial, Heard's lawyer, Elaine Bredehoff, believes it provides a way for the jury to compensate Heard for the abuse Depp has inflicted on her by orchestrating a smear campaign against her. We're pleading with you to hold this man accountable finally, she told the jury. He has never accepted responsibility for anything in his entire life. Depp claims he never hit Heard and that she made up the abuse allegations to gain an advantage in the divorce proceedings. Heard, he claims, frequently assaulted him physically. Jurors have seen photos of Heard with bruises and marks on her face, but some show only mild redness, while others appear to show more severe bruising. Vasquez accused Heard of doctoring the photos and claimed that evidence that Heard exaggerated some of her injuries proves that all of her claims of abuse are false. The closing statements of Depp's team. Depp's attorneys Camille Vasquez and Ben Chu took turns on the stand presenting jurors with highlights of various witness testimony clips, claiming that Heard allegedly fabricated her arguments and should be considered the real abuser. He has lost everything as a result of Ms. Heard's lies, Chu said. Depp's team also cited previous testimony alleging that Heard had a borderline personality disorder, as well as the fact that she had yet to donate her entire $7 million divorce settlement to the American Civil Liberties Union as promised. According to the lawyers, she may have also given TMZ a tip prior to filing a restraining order against Depp in a Los Angeles court 6 years ago. The closing statements of Heard's team. Heard's lawyers Benjamin Rottenborn and Elaine Bredehoff argued against Depp's team, claiming that Depp is the true monster and that the evidence overwhelmingly favored Heard. Their closing arguments included numerous photos, videos, and audio clips referencing Depp's alleged alleged drug and alcohol abuse, as well as his alleged violent behavior and language. They also defended Heard's First Amendment right to free speech. "It's not about whether you believe Miss Heard was abusive to Mr. Depp," Rottenborn said. "Remember, Amber wins if you believe they were both abusive to each other." What comes next? The jury has been adjourned for deliberations after both parties rested their cases. If the jury members do not reach a decision by Friday evening, they will reconvene on May 31st, after the holiday weekend. Judge Asker had granted Heard's request to keep the identities of the jury members secret for up to a year. Do you think the jury will indeed rule in Johnny's favor? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, stay subscribed for new updates brought to you at the earliest.